Hey everybody, welcome back for another memory keeping plan with me. This time it's for the week of May 22nd through the 28th. I used leftovers this week from a very old format kit from Cinderella paper called Vineyard. I'll probably end up repurchasing this art in the future because I just really like it. And I didn't go to a vineyard this week, but it just kind of fit with the end of May in this area, and we went hiking this weekend, so the hills kind of fit that. I have a few Plana Hannah sheets here, so I have a red script freebie that she sent, and then I have some underlays from her as well, in olive and in burgundy, I think. Um, I think the burgundy one is wildflowers, and then the olive one is leaves. So that's what I brought in as far as foil to accompany these leftovers. This week I only had 5 leftover full boxes, so I was like, oh, that's fine. I just won't do a full box on Friday or Sunday because I had more things to mark those days. Unfortunately, that messed up my underlay pattern. Still trying to figure out, underlay math in this case. So because Friday and Sunday would have been following the same underlay pattern, I ran out of the appropriate pattern of underlays, if that makes sense. So all that means is that like Wednesday, there's going to be 2 burgundy underlay boxes. I also had a scene box to contend with as well, so I just could not figure out how to make everything fall exactly where I wanted it and follow the pattern that I wanted, but whatever. This was not the most exciting week of my life anyway, so it doesn't truly matter. Like when I did my wedding week plan with me, and I feel like the honeymoon plan with me as well, but more so the wedding week, like I was like sketching out on a separate piece of paper what was going to go where and how I was going to incorporate all of the gold and silver and everything. But, for regular weeks in my life, I don't have the energy to do that. I just don't. So if the pattern gets thrown off a little bit, it's okay. Yes, the main thing about this week is that I finished grading for the semester a day early. I feel like I always end up doing that. Like towards the end of the semester, I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna meet the deadline, even though I totally will. And then I end up getting done like a day early. So that's a good problem to have. So I finished grading on Thursday of this week. Grades were due Friday. I'm gonna be honest, they're always a little unclear about what time grades are due. Like some places will say, some publications will say like, oh, they're due at noon on Friday, and then others will say they're due at 5 p.m. on Friday, and then yet another email will go out actually closer to the end of the semester. It says actually they're due at 11:59 p.m. I'm like, you guys need to be way more clear about when these are due, because it makes a difference. Because if I have until the end of Friday, I can use Friday as a grading day, but if I only have until noon on Friday, like I'm not gonna put stuff off until Friday just in case the system crashes. You know what I mean? So that's a little annoying. They need to like figure out what time they're actually due and then just stick to that time. That would be helpful. But either way, got everything done. So that felt really good. And then we just my husband and I just kind of hung out that weekend. Sorry, my words got away from me there. We went out to dinner on Friday night, we played some video games, and then we went hiking on Saturday in a sort of new hiking area. I think it's sort of been open before, but like they did some new trails and you get a really great view of northern Orange County. So we went out there on Saturday. And other than that, we were just working and doing life. Tuesday, I did have to take my cat to the vet for a follow-up appointment, not for her dental. All of that was fine. They didn't need a follow-up appointment for that. But while they had her under anesthesia for her dental, they noticed that she had like a scratch on her eye, so a corneal ulcer. So they sent us home with some antibiotic ointment. And we did that for a week and then took her back, and she was, oh my God, it was so much harder to get her in the carrier this day than it had the previous week because she was so unhappy being taken for that dental. I think it was the fact that she got left there for several hours and also like the anesthesia. She hated that. So anyway, really difficult to get her back in the carrier. And of course, my husband was gone that day as well because that's his usual office day. So she was really unhappy with me. And then like they did let me go back in the room with her for once because since we got her during COVID, like I have never been in the back room with her when I've taken her to the vet. But this day they asked if I wanted to, and I said, oh yeah. So I got to see her get eye drops put in her eye and a light shined in her eye by the vet, and then everything was fine. I guess it healed up, so that's good. We just wanted to make sure. I'm glad that the vet caught it when she did, because like something like that, you wouldn't want the eye to deteriorate even more. So I don't know how she got that ulcer, but it's all good now. I'm using the leftover glitter headers from the kit and the date covers. I'm going to pull in some date dots later, but you won't see that until later. Oh, this was also like, most of May had been pretty gloomy, but this was where it was starting to really hit that like, we're probably going to have June gloom as well. So we had a lot of May gray, and then this was the start of the June gloom because it was about to be June. So it's quite cloudy this week, so that's what I'm going to end up writing in the sidebar. I'm just flipping back through my planner to see how many times I marked that it was cloudy. Now we're here at the end of June, and it's definitely going to start warming up, which will be its own challenge. But yeah, we had like 2 full months of cloudy weather, which was kind of crazy. I am pulling in some Michael's washi, and I actually hit the end of this roll this week, which is crazy because I've had this roll of washi for a really long time. I think this is one of the first rolls of washi I ever bought when I first started planning. So there it is, it's done. She's going in the garbage. Thank you for your service. Roll of washi. And I didn't have enough full boxes left over to put one in the sidebar, so what I'm eventually going to do at like the very end of this plan with me is use the I did it quote overlay from Plan of Hannah from the graduation sheet to mark that I did it. I finished my grading this week, but I'm going to put that over a checklist. But I decided not to kind of like wait until the end just to see if I actually wanted to fill in the space that way. I also needed to make sure that I was going to have enough labels and everything without using the checklists, so I held off until the very end. But over in the sidebar, I did have to pull in one of my leftover habit trackers because this kit was out of them. I had used the 2 other ones last year when I used this kit. So I pulled in a habit tracker that is from Oh Hello. It's leftover from a very old kit. That was just for flossing, and I put some washi behind it from the kit, and then I used the This Week header from the kit and a checklist, a weekly checklist from the kit to mark my dinners for the week. My husband was very nice and made ribs and potato salad on Sunday for the long weekend because he had Friday off because it was his normal Friday off, and then he also had Monday off because he's a government employee. So he wanted to do something for the holiday weekend. He wanted to cook something for the holiday weekend, and I was like, heck yeah. So we had ribs and potato salad on Sunday. Getting into the day by day, on Monday, I marked that my husband actually had to go to the office this day, even though he normally doesn't on Mondays, because his PC was not working, like his work laptop. So I marked that with the laptop icon from the kit because he had to, I think, go get a new laptop. Then I was at home grading, so I was on my students' final projects at this point, so that laptop sticker is from Bella Planella. So originally I was going to do their final projects Monday through Thursday and then like grade all of their final reflections on Friday, but instead I was like, you know what, maybe just like grade each class's final reflections right after you do their final projects, and then that way they know what their grade's going to be quicker. So I graded 23 final projects and then 25 reflections. I'm not sure why 2 people didn't turn in their final projects now that I think about it. That math doesn't math. Anyway, that's not anybody's problem anymore. So the school icon for grading the final reflections is from Cinderella paper. And then the laundry script is from Plan of Hannah, and I just have a laundry icon from the kit. I had to do some laundry that day. And then I pulled stickers for a plan with me, so I'm going to pull in a sticker from Sweet Epics paper. It's like a little corgi with a big stack of stickers. That's what I like to use lately for pulling stickers. And then at the end of the day, I'm going to mark with a TV little thing from the kit, because this kit is so old that it had little things, that I was rewatching Eat the Menu on the Try Guys channel, because I was just in the mood to rewatch stuff after finishing Parks and Recreation the week before. I am really bad about watching new stuff. I tend to rewatch old things. I think it has something to do with being an anxious person. I think I've read studies about it where it's like you appreciate the predictability because you know what's going to happen. So I have a really hard time branching out into stuff I have not watched. It's tough. Tuesday, I marked that my husband went to work at the office with an @ icon from the kit, and then I was grading more final projects. I only had 19 this day because that was the class that I was working on, so I have another laptop icon from Bella Planella. And then I'm going to mark with a Molly Goes to the Vet sticker from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. and an appointment script from Planahanna. I keep wanting to say Bella Planella when I mean Planahanna, but I think it's because they rhyme. But yeah, that was the follow-up appointment for my cat to get her eye checked just to make sure that everything was healing up the way it was supposed to. Don't you love that you still have to pay for like follow-up appointments at the vet? It's like, oh, that'll be another like $100. Yay. All you did was look in her eye. Okay, thank you. Anywho, then I came home and graded 19 more final reflections, and then I started filming my May haul, probably because an order came in this day, so I have a camera icon from the kit. And then I voiced over a plan with me, so I'm going to pull in an editing icon from the YouTube sheet from Planahanna, and then I'm going to pull in another little thing from the kit to mark that we were watching the Eat with Keith live stream, probably not live though, because I always miss those live, and 10-minute power hour, both on YouTube. Wednesday, I'm going to mark that for some reason I was awake at 2:30 in the morning. I have been experiencing this a lot lately when I'm stressed, is that I just wake up way too early. So that was bleh, but oh well. So I'm going to put in a bed icon from Cinderella paper because for some reason I woke up at 2:30 in the morning. And then this was my husband's other office day, so I'm going to use an alarm clock icon from the kit because he has to get up at like 5:30 or 6. It depends on how much he wants to do in the morning before he goes to work. So the alarm clock icon makes sense for that. I do miss the little mini icons in kits, especially from Cinderella paper. And then guess what? I was grading more final projects this day. So I had 21 this day because that was the class I was working on. And then it looks like I only had 19 final reflections from that class. So I guess 2 people just decided not to turn them in. That's fine. I am going to say this. Students will often like apologize to me when they don't turn something in. And I'm like, it's fine. Like, I don't take it personally. Like, it's you who's going to have to deal with that, you know? I'm not going to accept it late, but like, you don't have to apologize to me. So I've just noticed that. I'm like, I'm not really are you apologizing to me because you want me to like still accept it? Because I'm not going to do that. Like my late policy is really clear, but anywho. Then I filmed a haul, so I have a camera icon from Planahanna. I must have gotten another order in that day. And then I played with my kitty cat, so I brought in a paw print icon from the kit. And then at the end of the day, I used the YouTube little thing from the kit to mark that I was just watching a bunch of random YouTube videos. So I'm going to bring in also the YouTube binge script from the Planahanna sheet. For once, I really don't have any stories, so I'm kind of ahead of my planning on camera. How weird. Thursday, I played with the cat again, so I'm going to bring in a Molly Loves Playing with Her Mouse sticker from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then this was the last day of grading for me, so I graded 19 more final projects and 19 final reflections. I guess with the last class I was grading, those just matched up perfectly. Everyone who was still turning stuff in for that class turned in everything. And then I submitted grades, so I'm going to put in a push pin icon from the kit because I felt like that fit. And I had to do what are called SLO rubrics for my course lead. How do I explain this? Basically, we have to collect some form of data on each of our student learning outcomes, so SLOs, each semester to kind of assess whether or not the outcomes still work and if the students are meeting them. So we pull like a random sample of 5 students. We all pick the same type of assignment, and then we input on a scale of like 1 to 5, like, or more like 2 to 5, I think. I don't think anyone's a 1. Yeah. Because 1 would just be like, they didn't even do the assignment, which wouldn't be helpful data. So we just kind of assess like how consistently they're meeting the outcome based on this like kind of late in the semester research project, because every section of this class that I teach, I taught 4 sections of this class this semester, they have to do some sort of research paper. Like, we have academic freedom to teach, to like how we teach that, but like there has to be a research paper at some point in the semester, because that's kind of the point of the class, right? If you don't do a research paper, then like how are they getting introduced to college writing, you know? So anyway, I don't know if I explained that very clearly. You probably don't even care, but I used a Molly has a long to-do list sticker from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. for that, because it is kind of tedious to go back through grades of things I already graded and like input it into Excel. I am not an Excel person. My husband uses Excel like 15 times a day and loves it. I'm an English major. I'm not a big fan of it. So I do a lot of stuff like manually that I could probably program into Excel, but I don't feel like it. So anyway, did that, and then I was done with the semester, yay. And then I used a little thing from the kit at the end of Thursday to mark that we were rewatching Eat the Menu on the Try Guys channel on YouTube. Friday, I marked that it was my husband's day off with a script from the Plan a Hannah sheet. Of course, it was also my day off because I finished grading. So I slept in. That was really nice. So I have a bed icon from Cinderella paper. I am going to pull in a sleep-in script from Carly Plans eventually. And then I voiced over a plan with me, so I have an editing YouTube icon from Plan a Hannah. And then I went around to all the different banks to change my name on my accounts, because I hyphenated my last name in the last few months. And I finally had it changed at payroll where I work, so that meant to me that I could go change it at the banks. I tried asking payroll. I'm like, so which one should I do first? Like, change it on the bank or change it at payroll? And like, they didn't really answer my question. So I was like, okay, I'm going to change it at payroll first. Because then like, I didn't want to have issues with getting my paycheck deposited, you know? I don't know if that makes sense, but it made sense to me. So what happened is that I have 2 bank accounts. I have one at a big bank and then one at a local credit union, because they give me lots of great benefits for being an education professional. I've thought about closing the one at the big bank, but then I think about it and it's like a lot more convenient if we're traveling to have the big bank account. And then also like that's our joint bank account at this point. And then we have our own accounts at our specific credit unions that we prefer better for our own personal reasons. So anyway, I drove to the big bank branch that is closest to us first. Turns out this Friday was their last day open. So, and I literally got there at like 1:30 and they closed at 1. Like they were rolling office furniture out of the building. I was like, okay, never mind. So then I went to the branch nearby of the credit union because that was closer. And so we got my name changed over there. And then I went to a different branch of the big bank to get my name changed over there. I had to go like across town. Then I find out like the next day that the bank closest to me is now going to be a branch of that big bank, which is hilarious. It was really funny. So anyway, got it all taken care of. It was a little more convoluted to get to the various banks than I thought, but it was all taken care of. I marked all of that with a $sign icon from the kit. And then I just marked that grades were due, and I turned on my vacation email, and I was like, yes. We had a date night this night. We went out for beer and for dinner. So I used a date night script from Plan a Hannah and the clinking glasses from the kit, and then we came home and played Mario Party, and that switch sticker is from Oh Hello Co. Saturday we went hiking in the West Coyote Hills, so that was cool to see the new trails that are finally done. I think they opened them this spring. I'm not 100% sure, but we hadn't been in that area before, so it was really cool to hike around that, my husband and I. You get some great views of northern Orange County, and there's a lot of birds out right now, of course, and just a lot of diversity of plant life, like not just the local wildflowers and the mustard seed, which are actually not native, they're invasive, but they're pretty, but also like cactus and everything. So that was cool. So that hiking munchkin is from Once More with Love. And then we went and got sandwiches at a place called Green Bliss. So that sandwich icon is from Beneva Creations. I was really tired at this point. And then we just went home and relaxed. So I have a Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. laying on the couch and a relaxed script from Plan a Hannah. And then you probably can't see this because it's not very reflective right now, but I have a Lord of the Rings sheet from Planahana. So I pulled in the Ring of Power at the bottom of Saturday because we started rewatching Return of the King. We were just in the mood to watch that movie this day. Sunday, we slept in, so I have another bed icon from Cinderella paper and a sleep in script from Planahana. I marked that I was grumpy this day. I think I was just like really tired from the day before. I think I pushed myself a little too hard the day before, so I have a What in the World munchkin from Once More with Love to mark that I was kind of grumpy. And then I put away all of my Easter decorations because I think this was Pentecost, and that's kind of my rule is I keep the Easter decorations up. I don't really put them up until like the week of Easter usually because I just forget to put them up, but then I try to take them down like however many weeks after Easter Pentecost is. I don't remember. Just because like if I don't have like a firm deadline, I'll just like leave stuff up that's not seasonal. So it's like I could take down the Easter decorations way later, but for some reason I don't. To mark all of that though, I put in an Easter Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then my husband and I had a budget meeting because we were approaching the end of the month, so I just have a cute couple icon from Once More with Love. And then we had to write some thank you notes for some late wedding gifts that we had gotten. I don't say late in a negative way. I was very appreciative that these people sent us anything, especially because they didn't get the chance to attend our wedding, but it was my dad's sister and then my mom's friend who we needed to write thank you notes for, so I have a postage stamp Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then at the end of Sunday, we finished Return of the King, so I have a Mount Doom icon from the Lord of the Rings sheet from Planahana. And then after that, because I think we only had like an hour or maybe an hour and a half left of the movie, we watched some Try Guys videos. So I have a TV stand icon from Cinderella paper. And that is the week. That is everything that happened this week. So after this point, what you'll see me doing once I figure out how to finish off Sunday, you'll see me put the weekend banner down because I had space for it. You'll see me put in that it was a gloomy week in the sidebar, and then you'll see me put in that I did it overlay from Planahana over a checklist because I had all the checklists left over, of course, just to mark that I was done with the semester, which was very exciting. It's weird because now this is like a month later and I'm like, oh no, a month of my summer vacation has already gone by. I've been busy. Like I started editing all of the wedding planning vlogs that I meant to put out into the world like a long time ago, but after the wedding, like I just jumped right back into real life, or after the honeymoon, I should say, because we did get that 1 week buffer, which was really nice. I've just been so busy wrapping up everything after the wedding. And then, you know, obviously we had to write thank you notes and there were a lot of loose ends to kind of tie up, and work was busy for both of us. And we've been dealing with a lot of personal stuff with our families as well. And then also like right after we got married, like everyone wanted to have like a dinner or a game night with us, which was obviously great. But we were quite busy with that. And then, you know, in March we got COVID and then we recovered from that, but it felt like all of March just disappeared so quickly. And then April and May is always really busy for work. And then May's busy with other events going on. And then June's been busy with all the birthdays and weddings and other stuff going on. So anyway, I think my camera cut off at some point and I didn't realize it. So this is what the finished week looks like. I thought it actually cut off a lot earlier than it did, so I'm glad that you actually saw all of Sunday over there. But here are the date dots that I'm putting in. These are just leftovers that I had from a kit from Cinderella paper, and they match pretty well. They're kind of like a burgundy color. I was double checking that I had the right dates. It also happened to be that the start of the numbers towards the end of this sheet matched up perfectly with this being the week of May 22nd. So that was really handy. I have these long nails on right now though, so they were a little tricky to place. These have stayed on my fingers for like almost a week now, which is kind of impressive considering they're like the medium length from Impress, so normally those don't stick very well. But yes, there is the finished week. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you all are doing well. Let me know what you're up to this week down below. And here's the very few things that are left over from the kit. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you next time. Bye!